Hello everyone, today I'm going to be heading to Little Tokyo to meet up with my aunt, and we're planning to have lunch at our favorite restaurant in all of LA, which is Azay in Little Tokyo. Dinner is going to be amazing as well. We're getting takeout from Majordomo, which is owned by the celebrity chef David Chang. Anyways, it's time to see my aunt now. I haven't seen her in over 2 years. I just stopped by Fugetsu-Do for some Manju. Fugetsu-Do is the oldest shop in Little Tokyo, and they've been making Manju since 1903, and they do it all by hand, which is very rare. I'm curious to see how this Manju stacks up to the Manju that I got at Ben Kyoto in San Francisco, because that is my favorite Manju. And there's my Aunt Jane.
Hey! Air hug, air hug. Hi, good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you.
Hi.
Now my aunt is going to be taking me to her favorite restaurant in Little Tokyo, which is
Azay.
What do you really like about Azay?
I like the fact that it's really good Japanese authentic food, and the chef is amazing, and he also makes some French fusion food, which is so yummy.
That sounds amazing. I'm definitely ready to eat. So let's head over there now. It's pretty much time for a reservation.
Let's go.
Our food at Azay just arrived. We ordered the traditional Japanese breakfast, the bento, the duck confit, the beef bourguignon, and I got the eel. I'm really curious to see how this duck confit is. I actually tried to use a knife to cut it, and you really don't need it. It's so tender, the meat just falls off the bone. The duck is delicious. The outside is perfectly crispy. I love the crispy skin. And the duck is so tender and it melts in your mouth, and the flavor is outstanding. It's just a little bit of salt, and that's really all you need for good quality duck. It is so delicious. This is what my uncle ordered, so thank you so much to him for letting me try this. He is definitely going to enjoy that. My dad was also nice enough to let me try his beef bourguignon. This is incredible beef bourguignon. The beef just tastes like it's been stewed for hours. It is so incredibly tender and melty, and I love the rich fattiness, and I also love the red wine sauce. It's not too overpowering, so you can really enjoy the taste of the beef on its own. Really delicious. I'm also gonna try the tonkatsu from my aunt's bento box. That is incredible tonkatsu. The outer shell is just nice and thin. I love the coating, it's light and crispy, and the meat itself is wonderfully juicy and rich and delicious. And I also love the sauce. It's the perfect balance of sweetness and tartness that just tops it off. Really good tonkatsu. Now my aunt is gonna try some of my mom's grilled mackerel.
When we came here for the first time, the smells, taste reminded me of my grandmother's house, and I actually got very emotional and I started crying. It was such a nostalgic, sentimental moment. Really love their food. It's very good.
Now I'm gonna try a little bit of my unagi, and I'm just gonna have it with some rice and wasabi on top. The unagi is very delicious. It is incredibly fresh, and it's very flaky and delicate. And I love the sweet eel sauce on top, and the wasabi just kind of cuts through some of the sweetness with the kick of spiciness, and this is really good unagi. Very fresh. We just finished our food and everything was delicious, and now it's time for dessert. We ordered the apple tart, the matcha creme brulee, and the vanilla creme brulee. And out of all the desserts we got, what is your favorite?
Everything. I like them all.
All right, you just heard it. Everything is gonna be absolutely delicious. We're both gonna try the vanilla creme brulee now. Oh yeah, that is delicious.
So good.
Oh yeah. This is so delicious. The creme brulee is so rich and creamy, and I love the flavor of the burnt sugar on top. It balances out some of the sweetness and creaminess. This is really a perfect creme brulee. All right, you ready to try this matcha creme brulee?
I'm ready.
All right. Oh yeah.
Really good.
This one too. This is so creamy and smooth, and I love the tea flavor. You definitely taste the matcha in there, and I love the torched sugar on top. It adds a little bit extra burntness and crispiness and sweetness. This is really good. Now we're gonna try this apple tart, and this just looks so flaky. We just got a little bit of whipped cream on top. Let's see how this is. Oh,
So good.
so flaky.
Really good. Oh, so good. The bottom is perfectly flaky. The top is sweet, but not overly sweet. And the cream with it is just perfect. Really, really delicious.
Exactly what she said. I just love the apples on top. They add really nice sweetness, but again, they're not overly sweet, so they complement the pastry perfectly. Thank you so much for taking me here. I had a great time. All the food was delicious, and the dessert really just topped it off. A really great meal.
Well, thank you so much for coming and enjoying and sharing this excellent food that's one of my favorites.
I know, it was so nice to share a meal together. We just stopped by and got these imago waiyaki, and these are fresh red bean cakes, and we saw them making them fresh to order right in front of the window. These feel nice and piping hot. I can't wait to try these.
They
The
are
smell
really
is
warm.
amazing, right? Oh yeah.
This is so delicious. The pancake is a nice, light, fluffy inside. On the outside has a nice crust on the outside. It's really good.
And what I love is it's not too dry either. It's perfectly cooked. The red bean filling is perfect as well. You know, it's really nice and smooth, and you also have chunks of the whole red beans. This is a really good cake, red bean cake. These are so fresh and warm, and I mean, it is a hot day, but they're still really comforting, aren't they?
Absolutely.
Chef Akira is going to make something I have no idea what's here. Black mussel marinier. Oh
So-
my gosh. But the cleaned mussels into the steamer, into the pot with just that 1 tablespoon of oil.
You gotta wait until
They open up.
open up.
Yes.
That take usually 4-5 minutes
Okay.
with our gas stove.
Oh, I see. They're so ready because they're opening up.
I'm gonna show you how to eat by hand.
Hi, by hand.
Of course, you have to use a spoon for the soup.
For the soup.
But first, you take one.
Of the mussels.
Yeah. First one, you have to eat like this. Like
Yes.
this.
Open its shell.
Okay,
Yes.
and then eat.
Dive in immediately. Thank you for the demonstration.
Yeah.
Wow. A little trick to eat mussels in the very French way.
That was such an amazing experience. I got to see a cooking demonstration by Chef Akira, which is the chef of Azay. Now we're gonna head back to the Airbnb to try the Manju that we got this morning. We're back at the Airbnb now, and it's time to try all the different manjus we got. We got a wide variety. I'm pretty excited. How about you?
I'm ready.
The first one we're going to be trying is the strawberry daifuku. I don't know about you, but I love any mochi that has fruit on it.
Oh, me too, and it looks beautiful.
I know, they're nice and plump and juicy still. Let's give this a taste. Oh wow, I love this mochi. The juicy strawberry on top really does it, and the mochi itself is really smooth, isn't it?
And it's nice and light, but sweet, but not overly sweet.
Oh yeah, this is a
nice.
great treat. Next, we're going to be trying the strawberry onko, which is strawberry white bean filling, and it's topped with chocolate on top. I'm really excited about this. Chocolate and mochi is a great combo. Oh wow, this is actually really delicious. I thought it might be kind of artificial tasting, but it's not, right? It tastes like fresh strawberry. And the chocolate, this tastes like a chocolate covered strawberry inside mochi, basically, right? So good. This is their rainbow mochi, and this is definitely one of their more famous mochis. I've seen a lot of videos on it. This is just plain mochi and there's no filling. So cheers to that. Oh yeah, this mochi is really delicious. You definitely taste the quality and it's so smooth.
It's really smooth.
Yeah, and it's definitely a more traditional mochi as well, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Next, we're going to be trying the sudari, which is mochi filled with white bean, and it's topped with agar decoration. I'm definitely looking forward to this one. It's almost like art, right? It's almost too pretty to eat.
Pretty.
Yeah, it's so intricate. Let's see how this is. This is another really traditional mochi, and I love it. It's not overly sweet and it's really simple, but I think the jelly adds a really nice contrast, just a little bit of jelly and a little bit of chew, right? Definitely spices up the mochi.
Very, very yummy and beautiful.
Oh yes. Now we're gonna be trying these kuri manju, and these are your favorite, right?
This is my favorite.
All right, I'm gonna have to try this now. I can't wait. You know, this is actually pretty delicious. I love the filling. It's nice and sweet, and I like that the bread has a lot of flavor, or the dough. Oftentimes I find it's kind of bland, but not this one. It actually has some pretty good flavor, doesn't it?
I love it, but it's a little overcooked, and my mom's was better.
Yeah, I definitely noticed that the bottom looks a little bit burnt, but it's still delicious.
But it's got a good flavor.
Oh yeah. Now we're going to be trying this blueberry mochi, and it looks really pretty. You have like the chunks of blueberries in there. It's nice and purple. It smells really good. Just smell that. Oh yeah. Let's see how this is. Oh wow, I really like this. It's so fragrant, isn't it?
And it tastes just like blueberries, and I love fresh blueberries, so this is actually becoming one of my favorites.
I know, and you have chunks of blueberries in here too, just to add the extra flavor. Oh yeah,
good.
It's perfect. Now we're going to be trying this mango mochi, and actually mangoes are one of my favorite fruits. You really like blueberries, but I love mango, so this smells good as well. This is really good, but at first you really don't notice the mango, right? It's nice and mild, but you definitely have a light mango flavor, and it's not too artificial. It's nice and sweet, and you really can enjoy the rice cake because it's not overwhelming.
And it tastes just like mango.
I know, that's the best part. Now we have this dorayaki to try, and these are two little pancakes filled with red bean paste, and this is actually similar to the red bean cake we had earlier.
Right.
So let's see how this compares, right? This is a great one as well. You definitely have a good flavor on there, don't you think? Mm-hmm. But it still doesn't compare to the hot, fresh red bean cake we had earlier. It's not the same, but still, it's definitely worth trying out. It's pretty delicious.
And a nice flavor. A little dry, but a nice flavor.
Yeah. So out of everything we tried, what is your favorite?
Blueberry was my favorite for sure. I love the fact that it tastes just like blueberries. What about you? What was your favorite?
I totally agree with you. Blueberry is so delicious. I love the chunks of blueberry, and it's really unique. And what was your second favorite?
And my second favorite was the one with the strawberry on top. That was so good because I love strawberry.
Oh yeah, the strawberry daifuku was delicious as well. But honestly, my personal favorite was the strawberry anko. I just thought it was really smooth, the filling, and I also liked the addition of the chocolate. Really, it just adds a little bit of extra into it. I definitely recommend stopping by Fugetsu-Do. They're the only Manju shop in all Little Tokyo, and they've been there since 1903, so they're really good, and they've been there forever. Definitely continue supporting them. And now I'm going to be picking up food from Majordomo for dinner, which is owned by the celebrity chef David Chang, and I'm just going to stop by there now to pick it up, and I'll meet you back here at the Airbnb. I'm finally back from Majordomo and it's time to try all the food, and I'm really hungry because on the way back we got stuck in traffic since there was a Dodgers game. The first item I'm going to be trying is the bingsu with spicy chickpea dip, and this looks like some ground chickpeas topped with chili oil and sesame seeds, and this bingsu almost feels like a pan-fried bread. This looks really interesting and very unique. It almost reminds me of maybe like naan, but let's see how this is. The bread is delicious, it's light and it's fluffy and it's chewy, and I love the spicy chickpea dip. You definitely taste some vinegar and it's nice and tart, and the chili oil is really spicy just with the sesame seeds to add some extra nuttiness. That's actually really delicious. I know it seems simple, but wow, it is good. This is an item that I'm really looking forward to. This is the spicy lamb bingsu, so it's that same delicious bingsu bread topped with spicy lamb, and there's a little bit of Szechuan peppercorns in here. So let's see how this one is. Wow, this lamb is delicious. It's so tender and is all pulled apart, almost like pulled pork. And I love the gamey flavor, but it's cut through with a little bit of the fragrance from the Szechuan peppercorns, which add a nice pepperiness, and this is really tasty. If you've never had lamb with Szechuan peppercorns, this is just a really good combination. Next, I'm going to be trying the bosam, which is roasted pork shoulder, and it's topped with a glaze. The way you want to eat it is you basically make it into lettuce wrap. So I put a little bit of rice on top of some lettuce, I topped it with the meat, and then I added a little bit of gochujang, which is Korean chili paste on top. So I think this is going to be one delicious bite. This is so delicious, I love this. It's a modern take on traditional Korean food. You have the crunch from the lettuce and the tender meat on top. It almost reminds me of pulled pork, and it's nice and sweet. And I love the gochujang on top. It adds a kick of spiciness. This is really delicious. You really need to try this. And now let's see how this kimchi fried rice is. I'm curious to see how this compares to the kimchi fried rice I had last night. This kimchi rice is delicious as well. I love how it's cooked. It's perfectly cooked. You have a great chew from the rice and the crunch from the kimchi. Then it's also nice and vinegary, which cuts through the richness of the meat. So really good kimchi fried rice if you ask me. Everything I had at Majordomo was really delicious. If I had to pick a favorite, it would be the lamb bingsu. I thought it was really unique, and the flavor from the Szechuan peppercorns was delicious. It was really unique and amazing. Definitely recommend checking out Majordomo. It's a little bit on the pricier side, but it's definitely worth it. This was a really fun day. I really enjoyed getting mochi from Fugetsu-Do, and it was amazing to see my aunt. And I had a really great lunch at Azay and another great dinner at Majordomo. Just an overall awesome day. Thank you so much again for being in my video with me. It was a really fun experience.
Thank you very much for having me. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I was really happy to eat at Azay. That was definitely one of the highlights of today.
One of my favorite places to eat.
I know.
It was a lot of fun to share that with family. And I'm really enjoying your critique of the food. I think
well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm definitely going to have to be back to Azay.
Thank you.
Tomorrow I'm going to be exploring some iconic eats around LA with my aunt. One of the places we're heading to is the Donut Man.
My best friend has been telling me about this place for years. So when you guys talked about going there, I said, oh, we absolutely have to try this because I've heard it's really good.
Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure if you did, to give it a like, and also
subscribe.
And we'll see you guys
in the next one.